front page clip that went with it. We'll just call this filling this hole right here. That's a half a page of free publicity with your candidate's picture contrasting the opponent. Now we talked early on about strengths and weaknesses, and one of Karl Rove's strategies is for us to attack his strengths. Well, I think we did a pretty good job there. His weaknesses, I do not have to point out his weaknesses. The fact that Kathleen thought enough of me and her candidate to give me an opportunity to go get those flags, that must have been a strength that was evident to her, and maybe a weakness on his part, but she didn't have to point that out. She just let the positive prevail by the fact that we got the flags and we went on. Someone said, well, Bob Johnson's in the picture with you in the newspaper. You ought to be upset over that. And I said, no. Even in that picture, anybody seeing the opponent and seeing me, they have a chance visually now to size us up. And I'm only going to make one negative comment, but I'm just passing on a little bit of advice to anyone who is ever thinking about running for office. Marion will testify to who else has been in the military around here? Okay? They didn't let you wear a beard and a mustache, basic training. There's a lot of other things that they associated with being clean cut by having a clean shave. If you're running for office, do not have facial hair. Do not have facial hair. There may be some out there that like facial hair.
My wife does.
Your wife does. But if you wear facial hair and you're a candidate, you better have that facial hair for your entire life, because that's what people know. But it can work against you as a negative whenever you have someone who, let's say, especially in this part of Arkansas, that are veterans. They say, I want a candidate that looks like John F. Kennedy. Clean cut, professional, military. That's a leader. And what was one of the early videos that Mark Evans produced that talked about leadership? And there was Ronald Reagan. Did he have any facial hair? And he was probably one of the great leaders of this country.
Matter of trivia, the last president who had a beard was Abraham Lincoln.
Back then, you probably had a beard because you wanted to stay warm. So
I remember that clearly. I was there.
yeah.
He was there.
Otis probably tried to sell him a razor. So
He actually grew his beard after he was president.
my point about facial hair is that is a weakness for the opponent. I don't have to bring that up. It's there and people can see it. Your opponent will be clean shaven. Okay? Other things that I don't have to bring them up. Others will notice incapabilities, if you will, not to discuss it as if it's a handicap. Otis was born with his handicaps, and Otis would make a great candidate.
I was not born with a beard.
Not born with a beard, okay? And that's an excellent point there. He was not born with a beard. But I cannot hold against Otis the fact that he has the handicap that he has. And if someone was a veteran, let's just say, or in a car wreck and they lost 2 legs, that no voter would hold that against them. But folks, when your knees are wore out because you're overweight, that changes things just a little bit. We're not going to discuss that, but I'm just wanting to inject that. Your candidate seen in public and in pictures with the opposition allows the voters to see us together and size us up visually. And they can decide for themselves what they want for a candidate to represent them at the state capitol. So, back to what we were talking about, free publicity. We're getting a lot of free publicity, and Between you and I, Kathleen, I was beginning to wonder if there wasn't something going on with that not hitting the paper.
Well, I called him,
You did.
and then I cried. No, I
I'm glad.
didn't. Some of a story.
I'm glad that it came out, but it worked out great. Now the city has
Yep,
keepers of the flags.
we are keepers of the flag. They really got in tune with that. Yep. We have lovely certificates.
So, and there's a certificate with Representative Matthew Pitt's name on the certificate.
Actually, two, because we got the Arkansas flag too. We just couldn't hoist it that day because we didn't have the clips on. So we have two flags and two certificates.
So we're going to continue to get free publicity, and even though these shirts cost us money, that is free publicity. Be seen, be heard, and be prepared to maybe have a conversation and hand out stuff.